you can take this opportunity to find your way onto your back, lowering onto your mat in your Shavasana. And send the feet out wide to the bottom corners of the mat. Releasing through the ankles, let the toes fall heavy to the sides. Arms at your sides, palms face up. And tuck the shoulder blades beneath you. Gentle tuck in the chin invites length up the back of your neck as your head grows heavy on the mat. Feel the entire back body from the base of the heels all the way up to the back of your head, supported by the ground beneath you. Supported and safe here in the room, the space that you've chosen for your practice. You can allow the eyes to close or remain open, but let the gaze be soft. Start to direct the breath in and out through just the nose. As you lengthen the breath, bringing it in through the nose, allow the belly to rise up towards the ceiling. With a soft, slow exhale, belly contracts and lowers back down towards the earth. Big breath in, belly rise. And a slow breath out as the belly falls. Feeling that sense of spaciousness through the front body with every breath. With each breath out, the body's grounded here in the space and on your mat. If your mind has started to wander, you can invite it back into the space, into your body. Turning the awareness to the breath. And starting to waken the body slowly by wiggling the fingers and the toes. Taking some gentle rotations through the wrists and the ankles. In both directions. Slide the feet together at the bottom of your mat and draw the knees in towards your chest. You can take hold of them, interlacing the fingers around the shins or the knees, maybe the thighs, whatever is accessible to you. Stay long through the spine, and then gently apply pressure to the knees, bringing them in a little bit closer towards your chest. Maybe a gentle rock from side to side, massaging the low back. And find some stillness in the center. Keep the right knee drawn in, lower the sole of the left foot to the floor. Take the right arm to the inside of the right thigh. Reach across the right shin and take hold of the outer edge of the right ankle or the pinky toe edge of the right foot. We're coming into half happy baby here. So you're going to start to reach the right knee towards the floor on the outside of the right shoulder. It does not have to touch. Start to send the sole of the right foot towards the ceiling, maintaining a bend through the knee. You can use your hand on the outer edge of the right foot or the ankle, maybe onto the pant leg, to gently guide the knee a little bit closer down towards the mat beside you, but keep the left hip rooted into the mat. Avoid tipping over to the right here. You can keep the sole of the left foot on the floor or start to tip over onto the pinky toe edge of the left foot, showing the inseam of the left pant leg to the ceiling. Both hips equally rooted, the tailbones reaching away from the head and into your mat. Imagining yourself creating distance between the two knees here. Bring the sole of the left foot back to the floor if it's tipped over. We're going to slowly release the pinky toe edge of the right foot onto the left thigh. So it's as if you're creating a figure 4 shape with the legs. Send the right knee away from the right shoulder as you squeeze the pinky toe edge of your foot into the left thigh. Square up through the hips and the shoulders, equal weight on both left and right sides. And if you're not feeling a stretch into the right hip here, you can start to draw the left knee in towards your left shoulder, taking hold of the back of the left thigh or the left shin. If you notice that your tailbone is lifting up off of the mat, you're rounding through the low back here. Could be a sign that you're going too far. Maybe try lowering the left foot onto the floor or onto a block. You can also use a strap to add length to your arms if you notice the shoulders are lifted. Actively reaching the right knee away from the right shoulder as you draw the left knee inwards. Those opposing forces grounding down through the pelvis. Slowly lower the left foot onto the floor. Keep the right leg just as it is. And start to tip the left knee over towards the left side of the room, taking the right foot with it. So the outer edge of the left leg is coming down towards the floor and the sole of the right foot as well. And keep the right knee reaching away from the left shoulder here. You can extend the arms out wide at your sides or take cactus formation. Gaze is neutral or over to the right. Breathing space here into the lower right belly. Staying active through the legs, continue squeezing the right foot into the left thigh and reaching the right knee away from your shoulders. Gaze comes back through center. The knees will follow. Release the right foot from the left. Draw the right knee in towards your chest and interlace your fingers on it. Extend the left leg long to the bottom of the mat. Wind relieving pose. The left leg is active. Reach through the left heel. Draw the toes towards your face. You can keep the left heel resting on the floor. Option to bring it to a slight hover, just an inch or so above the floor. Notice the activation that it takes to maintain that height. And if you lower the heel back down, keep that activation. With each breath out, the belly softens, creating space for the right knee to draw in a little bit closer towards you. Take a few gentle circles with the right knee. The left hip stays stable on the mat, really isolating the movement to the right hip joint. Take the rotations in the opposite direction. Pause in the center. And with the right knee in the center here, start to draw the right knee in a little bit closer towards the midline of your body, a little bit closer towards the left shoulder here. But keep reaching down through the outer edge of the right hip. Just shifting where we might be feeling a little bit of tension here, a little bit of a stretch. Noticing that area of resistance. Never being forceful though. The outer right hip is reaching down towards the mat as you draw the right knee a little bit closer towards the midline and maybe over to the left. Slowly bring it back through center to its neutral. Plug it in one last time. And then draw the left knee in to meet the right. Giving both of the knees a hug here towards your chest. Maybe taking them in circles this time. In both directions. Find stillness in the center. Lower the sole of the right foot to the floor. Take the left arm to the inside of the left thigh. Reach over the left shin and take hold of the outer edge of the left foot. Coming into half happy baby. The left knee is reaching towards the outer edge of the left shoulder. As you start to bring the sole of the left foot towards the ceiling with a bend in the left knee. Keep your right hip drawn down towards the mat. You can even place your right hand on it to encourage it down. Stay on the sole of the right foot or start to tip over onto the pinky toe edge of the right foot, lifting the inner arch off of the floor and acting as a bit of a counterbalance here, creating some distance between the knees, between the hips. Maintaining length through your entire spine and distance between the knees. Bring the sole of the right foot onto the floor if it's tipped over. Slowly release the pinky toe edge of the left foot onto the right thigh. Coming into thread the needle pose or recline pigeon. Squeezing the pinky toe edge of the left foot into the right thigh, and the right thigh into the left foot. Send the left knee away from your left shoulder without shifting the left hip. Stay here or draw the right knee in towards the right shoulder. Take hold of the back of the right thigh or the right shin. Maybe you're noticing subtle differences from the right side to the left. It's normal to be asymmetrical, to be a little tighter on one side than the other. So just being patient with your body, accepting those differences and modifying however you see fit. So maybe you lower your right foot back down to the mat or onto a block. Maybe you choose to use a strap on this side. Slowly lower the right foot down onto the ground. Keep the left leg just as it is. Tip over onto the pinky toe edge of the right foot and send the outer edge of the right leg down towards the mat, as well as the sole of the left foot. So you're still maintaining that figure 4 shape with the legs. Left knee's reaching away from the right shoulder. You can take the arms out wide at your sides or into cactus formation. Gazes to the ceiling or over to the left. Filling up the lower left belly with breath. Let your gaze come through center. The knees will follow. Release the left foot from the right thigh. Draw the left knee in towards your chest as you interlace the fingers around it. Send the right foot long to the bottom of the mat. Reach through the right heel and square up your hips. So that may mean shifting the left hip towards the end of your mat. So left hip away from the shoulders and down into the ground. As you draw the left knee in towards your chest. Reach through the right heel and maybe just for a moment here, you bring the leg to a gentle hover on the floor. A long straight right leg reaching through the heels, ankle flexed. Notice how much the muscles are working here to keep the leg lifted. Keep the activation as you lower the right heel to the mat. Draw the left knee in a little bit closer. Take some gentle rotations through the left knee. The right leg, the right hip are stable and still. Rotating in the opposite direction. And pausing in the center. With the left knee in the center, start to bring it a little bit closer towards the midline of the body, the center of your body. Keep the outer edge of the left hip reaching down towards the mat as you shift the left knee a little bit closer towards the right armpit. So really being mindful here not to come into a twist. We're not lifting the left hip or the left shoulder off the ground. Just seeing how much movement we have available to us in the left hip, noticing that point of resistance and just staying there in breath. This doesn't always have to do with the tightness of the muscles, your flexibility. Sometimes it has to do with the bone shape of the hip joint. It's something you'll never be able to change, so try not to hold judgment or attachment to any particular shape of your body or ability or inability to get further into a pose. Bring the left knee back through neutral and give it a hug one more time. Bring the right knee in to meet the left. And this time taking the knees wide towards the shoulders. The pelvis is heavily rooted into the mat. With the thighs spread wide apart, it allows your belly to rise and fall with breath once again. Just the same as we did at the beginning of practice. Take a long inhale through the nose, belly rises up towards the ceiling. And soft exhale, belly falls. Inhale, belly rises up between the thighs towards the ceiling. Exhale, belly softens. Staying with that breath. You can stay here in this position, or we'll come into full happy baby. Reach both arms to the insides of the thighs. Reach across the shins to the outer edge of the feet. So pinky toe edge of the feet or the ankles. You can always use a strap. Lengthen through the spine first. Really ground down through your pelvis. Start to send the knees towards the floor beside your shoulders. The heels reach away from the glutes towards the ceiling, maintaining a bend through the knees. Notice that you still have that space between your thighs for the belly to rise up and fall. With every breath in, ensuring that your spine is long and pressing the pelvis into the mat. Every exhale, maybe gentle pressure on the outer edges of those feet sends the knees a little bit closer towards the floor. Option for a gentle rock from side to side. Resisting the urge to round through the low back. Find stillness in the center for one more big breath. And then slowly release the feet. Allow the legs to extend long to the bottom of your mat. Returning to your Shavasana. Just taking a few moments here to tuck the shoulder blades beneath you, open up through the chest and the heart. Arms wide at your sides with the palms facing up. See if you can invite a little more length into the back of your neck. Let the head grow heavy. You should make any adjustments or shifts that you need in the hips and the glutes to find length through the low back and a sense of openness to the front of the hips and the pelvis. The legs are wide, toes point out, releasing all effort from them. Just noticing the sheer weight of the legs. Allowing them to relax, let go, and surrender to the stillness. Aware of the breath, but making no effort to change its rhythm or rate. Simply staying here in stillness and in breath as the legs grow heavier and heavier into the mat. This space, this practice will continue to be yours for as long as you choose to let it. Remaining here in stillness and in breath. Releasing any last remaining tension or tightness in the legs, the thighs, the hips, both left and right sides. Letting go of that tension that is no longer serving you. Finding softness as the muscles begin to melt away from the bones and into your mat. When it is time to get up and go, do so slowly and mindfully. And taking a little bit of space you've created in your legs and low back here today with you to your day-to-day work, home life, and the days to follow. With such gratitude, as always, Namaste.